Good Thursday, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Conversation Daily News. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. Well, we made it over the hump, and we're in the home stretch toward the weekend. Of course, you have your news headlines coming up on this Thursday with a message from my book, Words I Choose to Live By. And in today's Entertainment Spotlight, you've been part of my conversation with Anita Bush, the president and co-founder of Victims First, and a key co-founder of the National Compassion Fund. We're going to be talking about how we can help those who are victims of mass shootings and her own personal story. You don't want to miss that. Enjoy today's broadcast. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Thursday headlines. In national news, Trump says he took the fifth in New York civil investigation. Donald Trump invoked his Fifth Amendment protection against self-incrimination as he testified under oath on Wednesday in the New York Attorney General's long-running civil investigation into his business dealings, the former president said in a statement. About an hour after arriving at the Attorney General's Manhattan office, Trump announced that he declined to answer the questions under the rights and privileges afforded to every citizen under the United States Constitution. I once asked, if you're innocent, why are you taking the Fifth Amendment? Now I know the answer to that question, the statement said. When your family, your company, and all the people in your orbit have become the targets of an unfounded, politically motivated witch hunt supported by lawyers, prosecutors, and the fake news media, you have no choice. During more than 6 hours at the office building, Trump used Truth Social, the social media platform he founded, to review the decor, very plush, beautiful, and expensive, and to suggest the Attorney General was squandering time investigating him instead of attending to crime in New York. But after leaving around 3:30 p.m., he described the encounter as very professional and added a plug for his fantastic company. The questioning brought him face to face with an official he had called an out-of-control prosecutor and a racist. The Attorney General is the first black person to hold her post. As vociferous as Trump has been in defending himself in written statements and on the rally stage, legal experts said answering questions in a deposition was risky because anything he said could potentially be used against him in a parallel criminal investigation by the Manhattan District Attorney. The Fifth Amendment protects people from being compelled to be witnesses against themselves in a criminal case. In more national news, Biden signs burn pits help for vets, a personal win too. President Joe Biden, whose elder son Beau died of cancer years after deploying to Iraq, signed legislation on Wednesday expanding federal health care services for millions of veterans who served at military bases where toxic smoke billowed from huge burn pits. We owe you, Biden said. You're the backbone, you're the steel, you're the sinew, you're the very fiber that makes this country what it is. The law, which Biden described as long overdue, caps a years-long battle to ensure treatment for chronic illnesses that veterans have blamed on burn pits, which were used to dispose of chemicals, tires, plastics, medical equipment, and human waste on military bases. Estimates of affected troops runs to 3.5 million. So many of you here today remind us that we have fought for this for so many years, he said during an emotional White House ceremony that reflected the struggles of military families and the president's personal experience. Biden was introduced by Danielle Robinson, the widow of Sergeant First Class Heath Robinson, who died of cancer 2 years ago. The legislation is named for him. In international news, China appears to wind down threatening war games near Taiwan. China on Wednesday repeated military threats against Taiwan while appearing to wind down war games near the self-governing island it claims as its own territory that have raised tensions between the two sides to their highest level in years. The message in a lengthy policy statement issued by the Cabinet's Taiwan Affairs Office and its news department followed almost a week of missile firings and incursions into Taiwanese waters and airspace by Chinese warships and Air Force planes. The actions disrupted flights and shipping in a crucial region to global supply chains, prompting strong condemnation from the U.S., Japan, and others. An English-language version of the Chinese statement said Beijing would work with the greatest sincerity and exert our utmost efforts to achieve peaceful reunification. In entertainment news, the Associated Press shares a primetime network cable viewership for the first week of August. The top 5 shows were: number 1, America's Got Talent on NBC with 6 million viewers. Number 2, 60 Minutes Presents on CBS with 6 million viewers. Number 3, NFL Preseason Hall of Fame Game on NBC with 5 million viewers. Number 4, Celebrity Family Feud on ABC with 5 million viewers. And number 5, NFL Weather Delay on NBC with 4 million viewers. And finally, in business news, stocks closed at a 3-month high on Wall Street as investors cheered a report showing inflation cooled more than expected in July. The S&P 500 jumped 2% on Wednesday on expectations that slower inflation would mean the Federal Reserve won't hike interest rates as much as feared. Technology stocks, cryptocurrencies, and other investments among the year's biggest losers due to the Fed's aggressive rate hikes led the way. Treasury yields pulled back following the inflation data as traders paired their bets for how much the Fed will raise interest rates at its meeting next month. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 535 points to 33,310, and the Nasdaq Composite rose 361 points to 12,855. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's now time for a message from my book, Words I Choose to Live By. Enjoy. Good Thursday, everyone. I'm Cyrus Webb, and welcome to Words I Choose to Live By. There are enough people who don't believe in you or what you are able to accomplish. Don't spend your time doubting yourself as well. As you are going about your day, attempting to walk in your purpose, remember that you have no reason to feel less than or insignificant. The Creator of heaven and earth believes in you. He has your back. That's all you need to succeed. Have a great Thursday. Anita Bush from Victims First is featured in today's Entertainment Spotlight. We're here on Conversation Daily News. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with Entertainment Spotlight. Anita Bush, the president and co-founder of Victims First and key co-founder of the National Compassion Fund, joined me on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about why this mission is so important for her and how they're supporting victims of mass shootings. Here's a bit of our conversation. Anita, thank you so much for the time today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Cyrus. Thank you for having me on.
Well, this is such an important topic, and it is something, Anita, I know, of course, being in this industry, that is so true. You know, we talk about a lot of these things in the news for a while until something else kind of pushes, it out of the focus. But I want to talk about your own personal story. What is it that made you want to get involved in this mission?
Well, I was a journalist for many years, and in 2012, in July 20th, 2012, my cousin Michaela was murdered in a mass shooting in Aurora, Colorado during the midnight showing of The Dark Knight Rises. And afterwards, we, the victims, when I say we, the victims' families were working their tail ends off to try to get resources and funds and keep victims from being re-victimized, because the community was in chaos, the victims were in trauma, and we just did not want what we went through to happen to anyone else. And then in 2017, my family's experienced 2 mass shootings. Stacy survived by running for her life at the Vegas concert with bullets flying over her head, and she survived. But it is a very personal mission for me to make sure that the next set of families are helped and not re-victimized. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you for tuning into this edition of Conversations Daily News. Perhaps we get on tomorrow to wrap up this week. Until then, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Daily News today, and let's go make it a great one.